In this video, we'll look at the types of insurance you'll need to build into your business plan. Now, some of these insurances won't relate to you because obviously the business plan is a generic business plan. Some of them won't be relevant for you as a personal trainer. Again, it will depend upon the type of fitness business you want to develop. The first one, which is workers' compensation, is an example of this. If you are going to operate as a sole trader, you won't be required to take out workers' compensation insurance. However, if you're looking to employ staff, you will need to take out workers' compensation insurance for those staff. So for most of you, you won't be required to fill in this section related to workers' compensation. If you want more information on workers' compensation, you can just do a quick Google search and lots of information will come up. Information on when you're required to get workers' compensation and where you can get workers' compensation insurance from. So this is just a finder site and it provides some basic information, but as you can see, it says who you're required to get workers' compensation insurance for. You can see here sole traders and partners. Sole proprietors and partners in a partnership are not recognised as workers and cannot take out workers' compensation cover on themselves. So that's one related to Victoria. That, my understanding is that rule is often different in different states. So this will provide you with some information on when you need to take out workers' compensation insurance. If we scroll down further, here's some examples of places you can go to get workers' compensation insurance. I'd imagine there'd be more places than that as well. So again, workers' compensation is only required if you're looking to employ staff. And as mentioned earlier, in a lot of cases for this business plan, you may not be doing that. If you are employing staff, you'll need to fill in this section, so just write where you're going to get the insurance from, how many people you need to cover, and what it's going to cost. Now we'll look at public liability, professional indemnity, and product liability as one. This is because these are normally bundled together as part of the insurance policy you get. But basically what's required is you will need these insurances, so just provide information on where you're going to get them from and how much it's going to cost, what amount of cover you're also going to get as part of these insurance policies. You will have looked at the differences between these types of insurance in class, but we've also provided a video below that talks about the differences between especially public liability and professional indemnity insurance. Now we recommend that you get your insurance organised by whoever you register with as a fitness professional. Now we're going to show you some information here from Fitness Australia, but they're not the only registration body. So again, the various registration bodies will have different insurance companies they align with. But just as an example, this is Fitness Australia, who have got a relationship with Guild Insurance. Okay, if you look at the website here, it'll tell you what you're covered for. Okay, so your basic insurance you take out with them will be $5 million professional indemnity. You can choose $10 to $20 million of public liability, $10 to $20 million of products liability. But also this will provide you with an overview of the other things that you'll get as part of your insurance. So when you take out insurance, it's really important that you check everything carefully to make sure everything that you're going to need is covered. So this gives you a bit of an overview. So you're required to put this information into your business plan, how much you're covered for public liability, professional indemnity, and products liability. Now this is really important. You need to make sure you check your insurance policy carefully and you're very clear on what you can and can't do and what you're covered for. Too often people don't read these things, they just take out their insurance and they only worry about it when they have a claim. Now we don't want to get you overly worried that claims are going to happen all the time, but you just need to be really careful here. So when you look at your insurance policy, it'll tell you exactly what you're covered for and what you aren't covered for. So as we look down, it provides lots of different information here on special activities. Now some of them are quite extreme, but if we look at one here, so working with pre or postnatal women. Any pre or postnatal women participating in exercise programs or classes conducted by or for you. So that's not covered. It will be covered though it says, provided that this exclusion shall not apply where you have completed specific training and qualifications relevant to provisions of tailored exercise programs to pre- and postnatal women. So you've done a specific course on pre- and postnatal women, and that you've got medical clearances in place. So again, you need to check these things to make sure that you are covered. Working with children, any person under 16 years of age will not be covered. Provided this exclusion shall not apply where you have completed relevant qualifications and training to qualify you as a children's trainer. In the case of students at VFA, they've normally done a unit on training children from 13 years of age up. And if you've got a working with children, so in this case you would be covered for that. But really important to see what you're covered for. Some good examples of boxing to make sure you're aware of what you can and can't do with boxing. So don't be afraid to speak to your insurance company as well if you're really unclear on any component of your insurance policy. And if you feel you need to get it extended to include more things, just speak to the insurance company and see what you need to do to get it extended. It may involve an extra premium, but again, the extra money you're going to pay is really important that you do that so that you make sure you're covered properly. The last two business insurances you need to talk about in your business plan are business assets and business revenue. Now, in the case of business assets, again, it's going to depend upon how you set yourself up as to whether you need to take insurance out for this. If you're a personal trainer, again, a sole trader that's just based in the parks, you mightn't have a lot of assets that you need to insure, and it might not be necessary. Whereas if you've set up a PT studio, even one in a garage at home where you've got lots of equipment, you might need to get insurance for your business assets against fire or burglary. Similarly, you might be a personal trainer, again, that's mobile, and you might have lots of electronic equipment that you've bought that's really expensive for fitness testing or bioimpedance or any of these things. Again, you'd need to get those things insured. So again, look at your business assets. For some of you might just remove this together if you don't think you're going to need business asset insurance. But if you do feel you need it, you need to write the details of it in here, how much you're going to need to get insured for, how much it's going to cost you, and where you're going to get it from. For business revenue insurance, again, this will depend. Again, if you're going to set up a major gym, you might need to get protection for business interruption. So if the gym was to close down for a month because it's of a fire, you'll need business interruption insurance. But again, if you're going to have a much simpler structure, you mightn't need this here. So if you're, again, a business that's just going to operate from personal training business is going to operate from a local gym, rather than business interruption insurance, you might just get income protection insurance, which is a personal insurance you would take out in case you get a major injury and you can't personal train people for a period of time. So again, if you've got a more complex structure, or you're going to get a gym or a personal training studio, you might need to get business interruption insurance. But again, if your structure is going to be a bit simpler, and you don't think there's going to be an event that would constitute business interruption, like a fire or something that disrupts your business, then you might just want to get income protection insurance.